All right, we are live.
Oh,
Who knows what the delay is? But yeah, this is gonna die tomorrow. Get a haircut.
good.
I'm so excited.
Good. I'm glad you're getting
You're
a
gonna be watching like the footage back for the next video, and it's like
haircut.
near, near.
Thankfully, that kind of stuff doesn't. It's it is what it is. You know. It's just. Hey, I'm just double. It says we're live. I'm just double checking that we're actually.
Yeah, that's wise. In theory, it has been long enough now that whatever delay there is will have passed.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Love it for us.
We're alone at this point in time, but for those watching back the recording in the future, this is Shay, my magical assistant. Um,
Hello.
since we kind of inconsistently get people live with us, it'd be less awkward for me if I wasn't by myself. So
It
Shay
is
is
work.
kind enough to chill with me. Um,
Absolutely. As long
but
as you
for
don't mind
those.
static noise from and me constantly interrupting you occasionally. But
Hi.
ah, hello.
So you can just feel free to chat with us. Drop stuff in the comments if you have questions for myself or Shay. Otherwise, Shay and I will just be entertaining ourselves by hanging out. But we want
Pretty
to hang out
much.
with you too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you? Um, I'm gonna edit all of this like in behind the scenes stuff out for sure, but because I get to edit the videos. Aha. Um, did you drop like a link to this down in the community in the Discord?
It's no, but I could do that. It's already on Instagram.
Dope.
How words?
I don't know. Yay!
All right, there we go.
That'll bring some people in, hopefully. But yes, thank you, Ninja H Panda Kitty. It is lovely that you are here with us.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So the next video is going to be on do's and don'ts of time blocking. So that's what I was filming today, and that's why I look
Gosh.
like this. I tried a new shape with my eye makeup, and I'm a huge fan, but I keep distracting
I like it.
myself. I was like, "Whoo,
No, I really like it. It's like, mm-hmm. It's very, yeah. No, I can't articulate myself in this moment.
okay. I'm there with you."
I love it. I'm here for it. This is excellent.
Makeup is a never-ending.
I just,
What am I doing?
I am stuck in my 2006 era of
Ooh,
tight,
06, that's
of
rough.
tight lining, the tight lining of the yes they are hard of
Accurate.
tight lining the is that what it's called, tight lining, when you do the thing where you pull you go
Yeah.
on the I would do that. I would do mascara and I would do lipstick or lip gloss and that was it, and I would just go. And so I can't do eyeshadow as much as I want to. I have this really awesome palette. It's like a Zodiac palette or something from a couple years ago, and it's got a lot of really dark and metallic kind of shades and colors, and I want to use it, but I am afraid. And then I have that bold black lipstick that I wore at one point last year that I still have to.
Ooh, you know what I can do? Let us know if you have any questions or do's. Let us do discuss.
Yeah.
I can do a pinned comment shenanigan.
Ooh,
That way I don't have to
nice.
keep explaining myself. Like, what is this? There we go. And I can just have it on.
All right. I like
There
that.
we go.
Let's do it.
Finding workarounds for now having the free version of StreamYard because the paid version failed me last month, so they don't get my money anymore.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, if you can get it for free from does YouTube not do like its own like?
It probably
POVs?
does.
Multiple
Who
POVs.
knows? I just know this is the one that's easy to like invite other people.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh man. So let's see. Let's talk about stuff that I normally talk about. I found out that my iron was on the floor. I had a ferritin blood test about a month ago. Did you and I not talk about that? Maybe I only talked about it with Maria. It was 16.
Oh yes, you did on that call with us and Scout. And
yeah. For reference, Maria said that in order to donate blood, it needs to be 100, and mine was 16. My doctor messaged me and was all like, yeah, this is worrisome. You want an infusion?
How have you been since that, though? Like, have you done the infusion? Or
no, so my doctor has ordered it, but I do not have the information to schedule it, and I've been trying to get that information and failing.
Heavy eye roll. Heavy eye roll. How dare.
Yeah. But I have been taking iron supplements like every third day for the last like month. And I am a uterus owner, and it got mad about that. So my menstrual cycle came a week early.
Oh, no.
And it was crankier than normal. So like I have felt like a corpse for the past like 4 days.
Woof. I woof. That is
Don't let the 720p fool you. This is a corpse.
I mean, you're pale enough for it, but I like it, so I can't. There we go. Can I make myself look less red? Yeah,
I'm so pale. Like I am so Scandinavian that like I am wearing blush right now. This is what I am wearing. Can you tell? No.
Granted, part of that, it's a mix of that and whether or not the camera wants to, because you have a dark background in comparison.
This is true.
So,
this is the Patrick Ta not too much color. Ooh. It's the perfect name, and it's perfect for my pale face.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, when you mentioned your iron was on the floor, I thought you meant like your iron, like your. At first second, I was so confused.
That's amazing.
Because I also know it's a bad thing if your iron is on the floor, especially because you have cats. So like,
yeah, that would also be a bad time. But no, my current project has been interrupted by lack of future planning. So I'm making another purse. I finally found a blue vinyl that I really like, but this will be my first time doing edge paint. On vinyl, and I had like bought the color, but apparently there is a base coat that one needs to edge paint, and it's not getting here for another 6 days. So
gross. Well, hopefully, if that's off of the Amazon, that it'll be it'll say 6 days and it'll actually show up in like 3, because that happens to me sometimes. Occasionally.
That would be nice. Yeah.
And then I have a it'll delay it for like another 2 weeks, which is awful. So I cut out a pattern for some 1940s French knickers.
Nice.
Yes, and I have to size them up because it's for a 34-inch waist, which I am not. But I figured little shorts / underwear, depending upon what fabric you use, I am choosing. I figure it's a small enough project that I won't get as overwhelmed with doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And since organizing everything, we have 7 boxes of fabric. 7 like medium U-Haul size boxes of fabric full.
Whoa.
And half of it's like, actually, I'd say 4 of the boxes is like acrylic synthetic fabric I can't wear. But a solid 3 of those boxes are full of linen and cotton and wool. Just like,
whoa.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. But then it's that moment where it's like, oh shit, I have to actually do something with this.
Yeah. Watching
horrifying.
the stitchery on YouTube and
I
how
love
much
her
fabric she
so much.
has. I was
Yeah.
just like, how? Like, I get it, but also how?
To be fair, pre-pandemic, I would just go to thrift stores and just buy things. Like I have this 100% silk lined and 100% wool, like cashmere wool skirt. It's a pencil skirt. It is way too small for me, but it's like traffic cone yellow, orange. Like it is that like bright, vibrant orange. I really want to make like a beret out of it, but because I only have that and it's so pretty, I'm just like terrified. Terrified.
I also have aggressively orange, but it's swimsuit fabric.
Ooh.
Because my partner's favorite color is orange. And
yeah, it's orange like that. It's very much orange like that.
Yeah. And he's 6'4", poor thing, so there doesn't really exist a swimsuit bottom that makes him feel comfortable. So I'm like, I should just make that for you.
Yeah, why not? That sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Eventually, I'm cross stitching calcifer onto a tear in one of Sam's sleeves on one of his dress shirts. He has a red dress shirt, and he's just like, "I want fire." And they stopped. He's like, "I want calcifer. I want it when calcifer is eating Sophie's hair." And I've not done proper cross stitching, not on the like Ada fabric kind of thing. So it's just like, you have too much faith in my abilities.
I'm working on like a super niche project for my partner right now. So he doesn't really have like a place to put his phone when he's sitting on the sofa. And he also has the ADHD and the autism. So like losing one's phone happens a lot. So I'm like, I can sew like a pocket onto the arm of the sofa.
Yeah.
And so I made a mock-up, and he loves it. He got a video of one of our cats playing with it last night. It was so cute. And I'm like, so thoughts, adjustments, yeah. He's like, I think I need to use it for a few more days. And I'm over here being impatient. I'm like, but I want to use the final fabric because it's so cute. It looks so sad in cotton muslin.
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe I'll get to do that this weekend.
That's why, for me, to misplace my phone, that's why I have this like 3D like bumpy pop socket, so I can't. There's like no chance I'm gonna lose it. Have I lost my old phone that I still use to play mobile games on in my bed and amongst all the pillows? Yes, I have, because it doesn't have one of those pop sockets anymore. But
I was looking actually for a new like grip because I got the like Books Palma, which is like a phone-shaped e-reader. And I'm like, I want a really comfortable grip, but like so many grips are focused on like the MagSafe functionality, strength, being able to mount stuff. And I'm like, I'm just someone with chronic pain who wants to read without pain.
Yeah.
And not
I have
spend like $50 for it.
Sam, one of his old bosses back in Colorado gave him one of those like arm, like the stiff arm phone holder things. And so I now have it. I don't want to take it off because it's just so perfectly placed for me. But I have it now where it'll just kind of like, I can fold it out and it's almost perfect height for me to then get my Bluetooth keyboard so I can actually write. So I actually wrote words today for the first time in I don't know how long. So
nice.
Do I like any of the words? Absolutely not. But I'm getting the bones of the scene on the page, and I can always
sweet.
Get it
I've been working on a juicy section of Action Navigator version 2.
Ooh.
It's
spoilers.
Yeah. It's a section on mindfulness versus hypervigilance.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just slightly out of body experience to be writing that because I'm like, wow, I sound like a legit nonfiction author right now with how nerdy I'm getting about this, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it should be. Like there's times I'm sure there are passages that are a little bit more silly because the tone denotes that opportunity. So
Yeah. It's a really interesting thought experiment, basically treating version 2 of the program as a nonfiction book and writing it in Scrivener. I think it's been really helpful for me to find a better direction for learning the material. So, for those watching back in the future, um, basically version 2 is going to be a bigger, better version. So, yes, there will be more information, but all of the information that's already in it will be repeated. But my goal is to make it easier to learn. Um, and so finding a new order for the information. And I've also been toying with an idea of having different learning paths because the whole program itself is going to be really large. But if you're coming in and you're really wanting to focus on like building the right kind of planner and time management system for you, there could be like a given path for that. And then if and when you're ready to expand beyond that, it's there for you.
I will take some screenshots of I think it's Dr. K, the gamer.gg guide that I think I've mentioned once or twice, but he does the same thing. He has a meditation, depression, anxiety, and ADHD like course thing, and it is like this like web that you can navigate through and go down whatever path you want. Unfortunately, it's not choose your own adventure. You still have to like go video by video by video kind of thing. So, but you at least get to pick. You can deviate off of the depression one and go look at some of the meditation videos and whatnot. And yeah, he did this whole section on like the different kinds of like meditation, and I did.
There are so many. I remember way back in the day, a friend of mine got into shaking, which is basically where you're standing and you're kind of bouncing into your knees for a prolonged period of time. I was definitely vulnerable. It had culty vibes looking back. And I went to like a weekend retreat with it. And for the weekend retreat, we did that for like 4 to 6 hours a day.
Gross.
Yeah. And this was before I knew I had POTS. And looking back, I'm like, no wonder I was so miserable. But like I was looking for, I was Groundhog Day decade. Like I was looking for anything to help. And that did not do the trick.
Oh, yeah. I created a, it's on my wall, but I created this one I'll pull off and show just because I want to, shit. So it's really simple. It's just a grid that I use washi tape and black wrapping paper. And the intent is all of those, the middle ones are the the ones where I can actually, they're tasks, they're actual actionable items. And so that is going to turn into my to done calendar.
Nice.
So that way,
I like it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like also on YouTube, Heart Breathings, Sarah Cannon, she like keeps all of her, because she does like quarterly, the HB90 method quarterly planning, and she has a compound board, and then she saves all of her completed post-its, till the end of the year, just to see the volume of work she actually got done.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. It definitely takes some dedication to not let that fall off, but
yeah. That's a neat like way of doing like a trust jar, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. That's agreed.
Slight tangent of death.
Yeah, no, I don't have any liquids around me. And suddenly I'm just like,
if you need to take a break and go fetch a water, you are more than welcome to.
I will be back in like less than 2 minutes. All right.
Cool. All right. Just us for a hot second. Yeah, Shay was joining me, so that way I'm not alone because I'm not that popular on the algorithm, so I don't know how many people would join live. our current thoughts are just doing every other week live streams because I just don't have the spoons to create a YouTube video every week, like one of my full production thingies. But like YouTube gets mad if you're not doing weekly videos or more than once a week videos. And for my work to be sustainable and to continue introducing new people to my work and getting new students in my program, if that's not happening, I'm not doing too good. So this is our current experiment. Yeah, so please, if you have questions about anything I talk about, if you want some personalized advice, you're more than welcome to put it in the chat. Otherwise, Shay's just here to help me not feel alone when people don't ask questions. So, Shay's back.
Literally just sat down right when you said that. That was excellent.
It was a little creepy. Like I said your name and I summoned you.
You did.
Oh, okay. Fun thought experiment. What would people put in a summoning circle to summon you?
It would be a collection of things. Yes, thank you, Japanda.
Thank you.
Yes. I would say, oh gosh, I would. Oh, so my first thought was a really shiny, very pretty, like green dice set. Ideally, either in like a just stone or like crystal, kind of like. If I had the money to be so frivolous as to commission, I am not kidding you, like emerald, like full on, like gem, like the full set. That would be just, I would be like, hello, how are you? That, and also on the other end of the spectrum, a bag of Ruffles cheddar and sour cream, because that is my favorite.
I love, how have we never learned this about each other? I effing love Ruffles cheddar sour cream, but my spouse hates the smell, so we call them stinkies. And when I order them, I'm like, I'm getting stinkies, I'm sorry. Or I like have to prepare him when I'm about to have some. It's like, I'm gonna have some stinkies, I'm sorry. Like, what is this? It's so weird.
Welcome, Mingus.
Hello. I'm sorry you can't sleep. That is the worst. I've also been struggling with insomnia recently. I went so far as to be influenced by TikTok, and I got one of those like eye massagers. The Remco Iris 3 or whatever. I am returning it because it doesn't differentiate between applying pressure to your eyeballs or your cranium. So it's putting pressure on the whole area, and I'm like, you're not supposed to apply that much pressure to your eyeballs, especially if you have like EDS like me.
Are you a back sleeper, or are you like
I am a wherever I happen to be in less pain. So I tend to like fall asleep on my side but wake up on my back.
Okay, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. But then because I have gotten onto my back, my left leg has gone numb. So I have to get back onto my side for my leg to wake up. So it's just and then all of this while under a 15-pound cat. So
of course, and you cannot disturb their sleep. That would be
and actually he helps. Like I'm so used to having him on top of me when I sleep that if I like go on a trip or something and I don't have that, I'm just like
the nights when I like really can't sleep, my sister got me a eye mask. It's a satin eye mask that's only filled with lavender. Mm-hmm. And so I just put that on and then I wake up in the morning and my face just like smells like lavender for a couple hours. And I'm just like, this is delightful. That's nice. Yeah. So what would be on your summoning circle?
All right.
So and go to the both extremes. Go full extremes.
Well, I mean, there's several things. So clearly it would be one of my favorite West Coast swing videos because I love dancing. So Currently, it would probably be one with either Melissa Roots or Virginie Grandin, the two fellows that I love watching, or Tori Zowie. So, like a West Coast Swing champion dance video. And then probably a PC gaming system. Let's see. Ooh, yeah.
Welcome, Sarah.
Hello.
Oh,
it's so nice to meet you, and welcome to our itty bitty live stream for baby YouTubers. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. And yeah, if you have any questions, please, Sarah, anybody else too. But if you have any questions, we're happy to answer or start the answer and then waffle onto a totally different topic.
Yeah, we're just filling the air until someone asks a question. We're trying to make that filling the air either interesting or informative. So summoning me.
As much as I appreciate the comments and I love all of you, as long as I feel like we're entertained, we'll be good. So.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Another thing, probably Xena's chakram. That's another thing to put in the summoning circle.
That would be good.
And let's see. Thanks, Sarah. Is there anything else? Oh, Stitch, of course, my favorite Disney character. So yeah, I think. Then is there anything? I feel like there also needs to be like a pride flag.
There you go. I love that. You're also adding things from not real world, and so now my whole brain is just. Because, oh god, because then I'm just like I feel like the other answer that came to my mind was Dream from Sandman. If Dreams from Sandman was there, it'd be like, cool. I just want to have a chat. Like you're just really cool. Like, what who is a person alive or dead that you would like kill, that you would absolutely just lose it to, like spend a day with or have a meal with, not have a meal with necessarily, but like sit down and have some sort of conversation, relaxed or otherwise, like.
Oh man. Do you have someone for you that you can talk about while I think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, my alive one would be Neil Gaiman, because I adore.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Love him. And he's still just a very kind person. He has yet to become problematic on the internet. So,
knock on wood.
There you go. I just knocked on wood and shook my whole camera.
That I would probably want to talk to Brandon Sanderson about my fantasy trilogy idea. Just like have that spitballing, brainstorming conversation.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing. I would just want to have just like can we have like a developmental can you mentor me for an hour?
Yeah.
And then can I record it so I can rewatch it over and over and over again endlessly?
Right, because note taking and brain fog do not mix. Ooh, before we continue, we did get an actual question. Yay! All right, I've got a question about brain dumps. I feel like I need them because I have so many creative and life admin and work things going on at any given moment, and it's overwhelming, but I feel this aversion to sit down and make them, aversion to look back at them and do something with the information. I really don't know where it comes from. Oh, interesting. So I'm trying to think of like all the different barriers. So question for you. Also, hello.
Hello.
Because there are like, let's relate it to the 3 gas tanks. Yes, we do have a topic right now, Aaron. Thank you. So if we think about either physical, cognitive, or emotional barriers to doing this brain dumping process to help you move forward, which of those gas tanks feels like a bigger barrier for you? Is it a physical barrier to doing brain dumps, a cognitive barrier, or an emotional one? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that was always the hardest thing for me was when I worked from home as like a call center person, was that like I just being at the same desk I was writing at, so then it was just like the area got like tainted with work energy instead of
right,
yeah.
All right, cognitive gas tank. Awesome. So there are a number of ways, now that we know that information, we can come up with different ways to accommodate the task for you. So one of them is considering when you're doing it, like what time of day are you more likely to have more cognitive gas, for example, or after what other activities, like a habit trigger, are you more likely to feel like cognitively rejuvenated for you to do that. So picking a time of day that's going to be easier on you. And then also thinking about what tools you're using that might be easier. So like writing by hand might not be fast enough if your brain goes fast, if you have ADHD, for example, or vice versa. Typing might not quite help your brain work through thoughts easier. So picking like analog or digital, whichever works better for your brain. Ooh, we got some clarifying information. It's a feeling similar to the dyslexia brain of being presented with a huge paragraph in a horrible font. My dream. Oh, okay. So in that case, you might enjoy doing a digital brain dump and then asking an AI chatbot like ChatGPT to actually break it into smaller paragraphs or bullet points for you. So you don't have to do that processing yourself. That can be like absolutely incredible. And if you have Notion with Notion AI, you can do it directly inside Notion. So there are tools out there to help you with the overwhelm of the looking at the brain dump part. Let's see. Ooh, we have another question, but I want to make sure before we move on, how you're feeling about that answer. Is that feeling, so considering time of day and what tool you're using, and then considering outsourcing the processing part so you have a more simplified piece of information to look at.
Yeah, I resonate a little too hard with the that like cognitive dissonance of like I have too much, my brain is too full, but none of it makes any sense.
Another way to do it if you're not willing to use something like ChatGPT, which I understand there are privacy concerns with that. Not everybody feels comfortable using a large language model chatbot, and that's totally okay. Another way to do it is to separate in time the cognitive processes of creating the brain dump and processing the brain dump. So you're not doing those back to back because those are two very different cognitive processes. And so having a break in between of however long you need, maybe doing it on different days, that is okay. And then when you are going back to process it, have your own specific workflow. So that way you're seeking a particular type of information. So like your brain dump, for example, might include stuff from work and school and home and friends and your significant other. It might include emotions that you're dealing with. Like the number of categories that a brain dump can include is like infinite almost. So when you're going to processing it, instead of going item by item in this giant block of text, being like, okay, this is relationships, put it in the relationship list. Then you go to the next one. Oh, this is chores. Da, 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 da. Instead, go hunting for chores. And you go through and you're like, okay, that's a chore, that's a chore, that's a chore. And you can even use highlighters if you're doing this in analog. And then if you're up for another round, it's like, okay, I'm going for all the stuff that's relationship. And that will probably help reduce the overwhelm of the processing itself. All right, I definitely see a lot of potential in using ChatGPT. If I'm stuck in some parts, I still don't have the muscle to use it in such moments, but it's a great idea. Yeah, it's just something to practice, and you can add a link to ChatGPT on like the homepage of your phone. You can do like
instead of it being an app, it's a dedicated like browser bookmark link. Those are the words I wanted, to remind you that it's there. So it kind of helps. And you can have it like as a pinned tab in your browser if you're on your computer.
While you were explaining that, it reminded me how, like, with cleaning, putting things away and giving things a home are two different tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get so deeply overwhelmed when I assumed that was all just cleaning, or that was all just like what tidying was. And it's like, no, those are different processes completely. Like, they require entirely different, like, mindsets, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, using mind maps to actually do your brain dumping or to process the brain dumping might be genius. So hopefully we've given you some ideas to move forward, and we'll probably do another live stream again in the future, and you're more than welcome to come back and ask follow-up questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So back to Sarah. I'm wondering if you come across people that are sensitive empaths like myself, and does it make this healing work more complicated? Oh, that's a yes. Big old yes. It can be someone who's just empathic, or it could be someone who's actually autistic and didn't know. So that was me. I identified as very sensitive, and then I was like, what? Oh, a highly sensitive person? That's a thing. But HSP is just autistic.
It's just another branch of it. Yeah.
So, but long story short, most of the people who I work with and coach are very sensitive souls. And it's either because they have an actual cognitive difference, or they have a history of trauma that has led them to be really sensitive and hypervigilant, and will react strongly to seemingly small catalysts. So yeah. So does it make the healing work more complicated? So, oh no, I'm gonna go on like one of my canned spiels. So if it's annoying, Sarah, please stop me in the comments. So I like to use the analogy that your life is a house. And when you're struggling, it probably means the house itself is not up to code. Right?
Sorry, you've not used that analogy around me, and that was kind of like.
I don't think I've used the up to code line before.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
It's not up to code. It might be crumbling. There might be what are the critters that eat wood? I forget. Termites.
Termites. Yeah.
Termites. Shenanigans might be ensuing in your home, but because it's your life, you can't go move to another house. This is your house. So healing looks like going to trained professionals like trauma-trained therapists or neurodivergent trained therapists, doctors to help you with whatever medical issues that you're struggling with. They're the ones who are actually helping you remodel the house itself so it's up to code.
Yeah, they're taking out the eaten wood. They're taking out the eaten wood and replacing it with much better 2x4s.
Yeah. What I do is I help you survive in that house while it's under refurbishment.
Yeah, while it's being remodeled.
Because you have to still live in that house. You can't move to another house. You can't like move into a hotel. I wish we could. That would be great. If you could be like, upload your brain to a server and have your brain with its trauma and your meat suit with its medical ailments. Go back to the factory, get fixed. Meanwhile, you're just enjoying your VR paradise over here without your nervous system making you traumatized. That would be great, but that's not how it works.
Me not asking to where's my warranty to trade in this meat suit of mine that doesn't work right.
Right, like, oh man, just out of the box. I had issues personally. So depending on the root of your sensitivity, it can make healing harder, and because it's harder to find the correct trained professional to help you with that, and or B, it'll just take longer with working with a trained professional. So, for example, I have complex PTSD, which means I've got a lot of it. The other term for complex PTSD is chronic PTSD. So there's a lot of trauma kicking around up in this noggin, and which means I could probably do EMDR once a week for the rest of my life and still not be done. There would still be termites.
EMDR kicks my butt, and it's also the best possible, like for me at least, because I also have.
It doesn't work for everybody, but for those who it does. But like a lot of people who are trained in EMDR, they're like, okay, we're going to do a course of 10 EMDR sessions and you'll be good. You'll be over that car wreck. And so it kind of depends on the extent to which the root of your sensitivity is like ingrained in the foundation of your house. So that is the overly complicated answer. Complete with shit. So I hope.
And if I may though too, is if you're seeking out therapy, and this is for Sarah, but this is also for everybody else. I got incredibly lucky with the therapist I had when we lived in Colorado, because it was my first therapist as an adult. And I think the reason I got lucky was because I had contacted my insurance company and actually had them send me a PDF of all of the therapists within like 25 miles of me, kind of thing. And I went through, aside from this is my neurotic, this is my thing coming out. But I first of all had to cross off all the duplicates because there's always duplicates everywhere. And then I went through and I Google searched each therapist. And if they didn't have an account, if they didn't have a presence online, I immediately was like, nope. And
yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah. But then I went through and I found, so of like, I think I had 200 different therapists available in my area where I was. I narrowed it down to 4. That because they had because I wanted to read like how they talked, kind of thing, like on their pages. And I also wanted to make sure that they were like LGBT friendly and like all of that kind of stuff. And my number one choice actually didn't work because he only had one day available and it was one of the days I had to be at work. So it just wasn't, no. And then I found and then number 2 was my therapist that I had for I think 2.5, almost 3 years. And it was just, it took a while to get used to it because I had a really, really bad experience with a therapist when I was a child. But I feel like because I did all of that homework effectively ahead of time, I managed to barrel through a lot of what would have been that like process that people always talk about when it's so hard to find a therapist. I think it's just because they take this is me making an assumption, but I feel like it's because they take the first therapist offered to them.
And that was me for the longest time. I would like try one and then end up either not better or worse. And then I would give up for a year or 2 and then I'd be like, oh no, I really need help. And I'd try another person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ugh. They do get that.
Right? Oh man. So I will impart to you the thing that Shay and I use when we're looking out.
Go, Aaron.
Damn you, Aaron. I can say that because we're friends.
It is a luck thing. It's definitely a luck thing in part.
It is a luck thing. And it's just so unfair, like the amount of work that goes into finding the right health professional, be it mental health or physical health, to help you. And oh, that's awful. I am so sorry.
That is
but good thing your second was fantastic. There is justice in the world.
I was terrified of getting better. Oh, this is the continuation of the
Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's the first part. Terrified of getting better because I would think Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I resonate with that.
Yeah, same.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walk It Off was a big one for me. That was a big one for
Ooh.
me.
Ooh, that's gross.
This is coming from someone who's been like severely asthmatic since I was like 4. So it's just like I'm sitting there like I'm struggling to breathe right now. You don't know what you mean by walk it off. BetterHelp was, oh my God. Maria, BetterHelp was one of those things. I tried them and they just never responded to my like signing up to get a therapist in the first place.
Yeah, BetterHelp is such a predatory company. It's terrible. Never ever give them money. Yeah. Never ever give them your information.
I had a little bit better luck with Talkspace because I did them for a hot minute, but then there was an issue where it became an issue of like I got charged for just messaging the therapist, even though we were also having video. It was just one of those like read the fine print, but I don't know where the fine print is kind of malarkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that's good. No, I didn't like my ex-friends used BetterHelp for their therapy and it was working really great for them. So it's like everyone has a different experience with therapy, and I think that's always the hard part with healing of any kind. It wasn't quite per text, but it was one of those things where the minute I wrote a brick is when I got charged. And I was sitting there being like, I over-explain everything because the devil's in the details. You need nuance. Context is everything. That's my autism. I'm just like...
Gosh, out all the details.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on 19 months sober. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, I'm so proud. I don't know you personally, but I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, in therapy, all we do is yes, Aaron, absolutely.
Just brick after brick after brick. I remember my original experience, like in those times where I would cycle, like I would try and then I would give up and then I would try and then I would give up. Like it just felt like I was going to this location and complaining about my life for 45 minutes to an hour, ultimately feeling worse when I leave that location and then just going back to my life for a week to 2 weeks and then rinsing and repeating. And that is a sign of either not having my neurodivergence, my autism recognized, and or not having my trauma recognized. So if your experience with therapy or counseling is anything like mine, it's a sign to find to discover if you're either neurodivergent or have some form of PTSD or both, and then seeking a trained professional who knows how to treat one or both of those things, whichever one is relevant for you.
Maria, I totally missed that comment. They sold BetterHelp sold your information? That just took me. I'm agog.
Yeah. BetterHelp bad.
Yeah.
BetterHelp bad. No use.
Oh, that's so awesome, Sarah. Yay. I love it when providers actually work together to try to make your life better. It is unfortunately. So now we have to pay money.
Was not expecting tea today, but it's hot. I like it.
I'm loving this. This is so oh man. Yeah, especially and they hit the marketing hard too on YouTube a couple years, like the last couple of years too. So
yeah. And I'm just shocked because there are some YouTubers who I really love and appreciate and think for the most part they do their due diligence, but then every once in a while one of them will do a BetterHelp sponsorship and I'm like, oh no. And I don't blame them. I don't get mad at them. I'll just be like, just so you know, because somehow you missed this information. They bad.
I feel like there's a video that Cinema Therapy did, like Maria mentioned it, that I did not agree with how they were approaching it. And I cannot, I have to dig through my history. But it was one of those things where it's like, I super liked tons of their videos. And then I watched, you know, it's always that thing where you find the one video and then you're like, I don't like you kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The AI, man, like if done morally, I feel like AI
ethically,
really ethically, that's the word I want. Like it could, like it could be amazing, but like, no, we're in late stage capitalism, so everybody's stealing everything, and personal creativity and like copyright doesn't matter. I hate it. My partner was like, have you tried searching for accountability muse on ChatGPT? And I'm like, no, because if it's there, it means they stole everything I've ever done.
Hey, Sarah, by the way, sign up for a discovery call anyways. You'll end up talking with me directly, but we have means and abilities, and just to see if like you would be a good fit, would be excellent, you know, kind of thing, which based on the writing and what you've been talking about, I resonate with it. But yeah, just use that that link. Just sign up for a discovery call, and it's like 15 to 30 minutes or so, depending upon how waffly I am that day. That too. It depends on how much we hit it off, and it depends on what my brain is like that day. So, but yes, just like you, Maria. That. I know we talked about it. You talked about it on your live stream. We talked about it on my live stream. Exactly. You'll never leave. You're stuck with us forever, Maria. That's just how it is. Sorry.
Yeah, the main reason we do discovery calls is because a large part of the program is the community aspect, and we want the community to be mutually beneficial for both you to join it and for the community to welcome you into it, because we have so many people from marginalized groups in the community that I'm like a protective mama bear. So we're just checking for red flags, essentially. And every once in a while, we get one, and we're like, we think therapy would be better suited to you right now, and not this program. And yeah, so that's all. We're just looking for red flags, and then it's to get to know you and to make sure that you're testimony. That's true.
You are very protective of our Discord community, because it is. You know firsthand, all of us know firsthand what taking advantage of vulnerable. I put that in quotes because not all of us vibe with that term kind of thing, but it's just really nice. I say this at every discovery call, Sarah. If you sign up, I will say the same thing verbatim to you probably, because I say it every single time. But it's just like walking into a room and everybody gets it. And it's like, since, you know, it's just invincible. I mean, is the opposite of invincible vulnerable, technically? Like what are your thoughts on that?
Whoa.
Something late. I know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because to me, I feel like you can be both.
Yeah.
Like you can be invincible yet vulnerable.
Yeah. I guess it depends on which connotation of invincible we're talking about.
That's true. And also, Maria, I would also like to but at the same time, like, for me at least, the best moments I've had with friendships and is that moments where one of us or both of us are being incredibly vulnerable. But that's because I am so sincere, I'm sappy. So it's just like, yeah. Anyways, I just talking, but yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. It was really lovely speaking to you, with you, all of that. Yes, actually, that is a much better distinction, Maria. A vulnerable population versus a vulnerable, like being emotionally vulnerable. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing as like I love people. I love individuals and I hate people, kind of thing. So
I feel like if anyone resonates with that one sentence, you'd enjoy our community.
Yeah, we're all like that. It's from what I can tell.
Yeah.
We have a couple of extroverted people.
People are
like,
scary.
But individuals are great. It's just we're fantastic. We're lovely. and that's part of it, is that this whole community is a group of people that I don't hate, that I actually like individually love and therefore love the community. So it's just it's the exception that proves the rule for me. So hey, Scout.
Ma'am. Hello.
I love you, Maria. You're amazing. But yeah, it's been. There you go. See, this is what I mean. Is you put me on here to talk, and I'm just going to go on wild tangents.
It was great. It's especially helpful because I feel like a corpse this week. So all good.
Yeah, this was my vacation week, and I was supposed to go up to my family's cabin and enjoy everything, and that didn't happen, and it makes me really upset because for those who don't know, I have multiple sclerosis, and my heat sensitivity is stupid and insane. If I'm basically but yeah, basically if I heat up, my body reacts like I'm having an MS attack, even though I'm not. And it's awful. And it's in the 90s. And I have left my bedroom twice today. No, 3 times. I left it 3 times for a cumulative total of like less than 5 minutes. I think it's good. I can interpret it.
Ooh.
Cooling banana. I read that as cooling banana as well. But I have a one of those like ice like it's just like a little tube.
Ooh, the ice ring.
Yeah, the ice ring. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have an ice ring, and I have they're called migraine caps. They're caps, but it's like an ice cap, like a beanie that has little ice packs in it that you freeze. And that works really well. It's just the whole problem is the way it's called Uthos phenomenon, when your symptoms get exacerbated with heat, and it can happen with as little as 0.5 degree increase in body temperature. So I can't exercise quickly either. It sucks. I used to be a gym rat. It just I can't, But yeah, so now it's like I get to live in a perpetually air conditioned space. I am not looking forward to our electric bill this summer. But I don't know why I got off on this tangent. I had a reason, and I don't remember what it was.
Intolerant in this global warming world.
That's right. I was complaining about my inability to go on the vacation that I wanted to go on.
It's so awful.
The good thing is, though, we were like Sam and I've already talked about it, and we've just decided that next year we're going to still schedule that same week, because the weather might be different, and then if it's not, then we'll rebook in September. So right now we're planning to do that now in September.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents have a boat, so they're going to keep the boat in the water for as long as possible so that we can all Yes. I am very upset.
Happy autistic hand flaps. That joke was so good.
Yeah, that was good. You got me to guffaw. Just like okay, like
if either of us had been drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Spit take.
Absolute spit take. But yeah, this is not water. It is Gator. You can get, you know how you can get powdered Gatorade?
Mm-hmm.
They have a strawberry flavor that's made with actual strawberry. Yeah.
What,
and
it's real?
Actually,
What?
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not made with like a bunch of like fake products. Granted, you've never
Whoa.
That is a word. I like to say the big words that I learned with all of the reading I do. And
Same.
I remember there was when I worked in a doctor's office, one of the nurse practitioners, he got like startled when I was trying to say something and I stopped and I'm like, nope, that thought's lost in the ether. And he was just like, how do you know what that is? Yeah. No, Maria, you have no idea. I worked at Bank of America and I was getting bullied by the other tellers because I used big words when I spoke.
But iron, behemoth I could maybe get, but iron?
And not kryptonite?
Oh, do you mean irony? Oh,
You mispronounced them. Okay. I used to be such a stickler about pronunciation,
Oh,
and
no.
then that's why I like to go between aluminum and aluminium, just because. But I used to be super particular about how people pronounce things, and then learning more about how that's a little bit colonist, classist to do, I had to stop. So, and then it's also like it just makes it more interesting. Yeah.
And people should not make fun of you for that.
No. I mean, come on. Put any of us in Ireland and we're going to just flounder. So, I mean, I feel like Maria has a better chance because of all the languages and things, but yes, thank you.
This is also very.
What's your favorite big? I already have this in the bag, but what is your favorite big word?
Ooh.
Because
are you asking me or Maria?
I'm asking any and all.
Everyone. Okay, everyone present. Favorite big word, and it can't be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Unless you can spell it. If you can spell it, more power to you.
Without copy paste. It's got genuine. But
obstreperous. I actually don't know that one.
I don't know. My favorite is surreptitious.
Surreptitious. Ooh, that's juicy.
Yeah. It just feels good on the tongue when you say it.
I am having the fartiest of brain farts. Of course you know how to spell that, Maria.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Ooh, superfluous. That's also a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, exactly.
Noisy and difficult to control.
Oh, that's
I feel like that should be the warning label on me.
Yeah. The amount of time the amount of times growing up that I heard that you are too much, growing up, which is also hurtful, but like that word actually fully encapsulates me.
Yeah.
What?
Third grade.
Are you talking about obstreperous or I can't pronounce it?
I'm assuming
or supercalifragilistic.
Right? So
yeah, I was gonna say, Brenda, can you save me? Which word?
Yeah. And if it's the supercalifragilistic, just start super and ... You don't
oh
have
yeah. Just put Mary Poppins, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of teachers did similar things. Super whatever. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. I think I just took a few too many cues from young Amy in Little Women for the just constantly trying to use words that I only know half of the meaning. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's one that I am very familiar with because of all the video games that I play when encumbrance is an issue. I still have to go balance in my head whenever or restaurant when I'm spelling them in my head.
For me, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, or business.
Yeah. Or Arkansas.
Yeah. It's just like I'm sitting there. It's like I know it's not how you say it, but it is the only phonetic way that my brain will remember.
The one that got me for the longest time, and the irony being, like, I went to a French immersion school when I was a kid, so like my ability to read and pronounce French is really good. But anytime I came across hors d'oeuvres in an English context, hors d'oeuvres. And even to this day, that is what my brain reads when I'm reading it, even though I'm like, guess the hors d'oeuvres. Like I have to consider like fight every time.
I get called like classy, like, or like it's snobby if I use if I say foyer instead of foyer, when it's just like, but I'm sitting there being like, I learned it as foyer. To be fair, also for the first half of my life, I thought Target was actually pronounced Target because
you
my
know
mother.
those Boomer and Gen X parents, they could not say Target. It was always Target.
I love that for you, like in a non-sarcastic fashion. That is fantastic.
Turbulence. Oh my god. This has been so much fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I think it's time for me to go eat food.
I need to go potato. So yeah.
Yeah.
I really got this is great. This was fun.
Yeah, this is fun. This is less awkward than it just being me. So thank you for joining me, Shay.
Absolutely. I will do it.
For those who missed the introduction at the beginning, Shay is my magical assistant. And Shay is the one who now handles the free discovery calls for the program.
I'm a mythical creature. I'm a mythical creature, and I I just love that you spell my name right. People will see my name on stuff like this, and they'll still spell it EA. And that is the one thing where I'm like, can you please spell it right for me?
Like shea butter?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because that's technically the correct spelling, because it's an Irish name, and yeah. So, but it's androgynous, which it's like my mother knew. I'm not.
It's almost like my mom knew, but then noped out because they were gonna do the whole Alexander. If I was
gonna be an Alexander
if I was AFAB, but then they were like, no, Cassandra, and I'm like, oh, okay.
If I was a boy, I was going to be Alexander. That's what I found out as well.
Yeah. If I don't know, like I've always more identified with like the name Alex than Cassie or Cass, but I'm just like, I don't have the spoons to change.
To transition that,
yeah, that's just too much effort. I got too much else going on, so I'm just gonna be like Castiel, Cass.
There you go.
That's
just lean into that. That's just lean into that. You know,
a tragic bisexual angel.
I still love that. Was it Hillywood? The parody video that they did of the Shake It Off for the Mark of Cain with the whole. It was my favorite. I showed it to you, I think, like a year ago. But it's one of my favorites. I still rewatch that video.
That's a good one.
Anyways, I'm gonna keep us talking if we don't.
Oh yeah. Okay. Awkward ending stream in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.